This place is not in any Republic record. The Sith had information about it, but as she reaches out with the Force, she senses no powerful currents which flow through anything flesh and blood. Nearby, there are only machines and metal.
Something feels wrong here.
If there are Sith here, their numbers are few.
Perhaps. Still, they must explore the surface of this world. Unless the Sith managed to stop Master Vash from reaching this planet, she must be somewhere on the surface of M4-78, or at the very least was here recently.
This place unsettles me. Just be careful, General.
Hello, I am LS-44, and I need you to leave this area immediately. The central zone has been flooded with radiation, and it is lethal to all organic life forms.
What caused this incident?
I do not know. Shortly after the arrival of some recent visitors, communications with the facility ceased to function, and my sensors detected lethal levels of radiation.
Visitors? Jedi?
There were 2 visitors, a male organic and a female organic. That is all I know.
Master Vash and her ally. Another Jedi, perhaps. She must find them.
I am afraid that is not possible. My programming will not allow me to open the doors to any organic life forms until radiation output has been reduced to safe levels.
Then her droids should be able to enter and investigate the issue.
Yes, my programming will allow for a droid to enter the facility.
As eager as he may be to help, D3 should remain here. He is the only one who can access the navicomputer. Should he be damaged, they will be in trouble. It is best to let HK-47 and Goto's droid proceed.
HK-47, I did not realize that you still existed, especially now that the other generations are activated.
Query, what is it you wish, Fat One?
I see that your recent reassembly has not affected your behavior core, nor your attitude.
Statement. If I require a similar diagnostic in the future, I shall seek out the Iridonian.
Oh, I do not think so. There is much work that needs to be done first.
Several hours later,
This is more boring than hyperspace.
the droids return.
About time you got back. Find anything?
They managed to eliminate the radiation levels after conducting several repairs and taking steps that would take several hours to explain, though the cause of the radiation leak was undetermined. The droids guide Surik through the surface of M4-78, where she indeed sees many other droids, as well as the corpses of Sith scattered throughout this area, though not all appear to have been victims of merely radiation poisoning. The droids guide her through the industrial zone to IS-24, the industrial Archon. Whatever an Archon does in this context, he should be able to provide some clarity about this world and the location of the Jedi Master. The industrial zone seems to be focused on droid construction, as she sees many facilities producing droids of all sizes and variations, from utility drones to combat droids. Quite fascinating. Already she considers the potential of this world and what impact it could make on the galaxy, depending on who controls its facilities. Under ordinary circumstances, she is not intimidated by droids, but being surrounded by so many, and perhaps even standing on one, she does feel a dose of anxiety as she sets foot into the industrial Archon chamber.
Hello, I am IS-24, controller of the industrial zone of M4-78.
Perhaps he can begin by telling her what all these droids are doing here.
We droids arrived on this world years ago and began to prepare this world for colonization. The resources here are especially abundant, and we were able to expand rapidly across the entire planet.
What is his purpose?
I am building a droid army for the colonists.
For conquest.
I do not know. Our colonists finally arrived here a couple years ago.
Who are they?
Our colonists were the Sith.
But if they arrived after many years of absence, how can he know for sure the Sith were the original colonists?
When the Sith arrived, we asked them if they were the colonists, and they said they were.
Ah, they very likely lied.
That is possible. M4-78 believed them and ordered us to obey them, and so we did. They began building a droid army and were forced to shut down M4-78 to conserve energy.
That would be the main intelligence, M4-78, sharing the name of the colony. He was the one in charge of this world. Is there any way to reactivate him?
ESO-5, the environmental Archon, and I combined have the authority to reactivate M4-78.
Deactivating him would be exactly what she would do if she were Sith. After that, she'd sever any connection between the two remaining Archons. Was it the Archons who caused the radiation leak which killed all the Sith here?
An unknown saboteur released radiation to the Central Zone and Industrial Zone. All of our colonists were killed. There is not enough data. However, I would guess it was the non-colonist organics who have recently arrived in the environmental zone.
The two Jedi. Is there any way to contact them?
They are not in the industrial zone, and I am unable to access security cameras outside it.
M4-78 would have the widest reach and highest authority here. He should be able to find Master Vash wherever she is on this planet. With the colonists dead, reactivating M4-78 would surely be in the interest of IS-24 and the other droids here.
With the colonists dead, M4-78's guidance is necessary.
Surik shall seek out the environmental Archon, ESO-5. Once the two Archons can work together, they may reactivate M4-78 and get some answers.
Our goals are compatible. I have lowered the force field blocking the environmental zone. You should be able to enter. There is one thing I should warn you about before you go. ESO-5 didn't really believe the Sith to be the planet's real colonists. It is in fact possible that she allied with some other non-colonist organics who have recently arrived. While she never really took any physical action against the Sith, she may be dangerous. Be cautious.
Surik makes her way towards the environmental zone, quite a distance away. Upon reaching it, the environmental zone appears to be very different from its industrial counterpart. For a start, the air is fresher. Temperature management, water processing.
Welcome to the environment zone of M4-78. Your presence here is not authorized and will not be tolerated. Well, look at that. More Dark Jedi here than Gizka.
Dark Jedi? She is not a Dark Jedi.
The Sith were the only organics on this planet. Your lightsaber makes it obvious. You are a Dark Jedi.
Indeed, everyone knows only the Sith carry lightsabers. She was looking to speak to ESO-5, the environmental Archon. Perhaps this lesser droid can guide Surik to her.
I am ESO-5. You are not authorized to enter this zone.
IS-24 said ESO-5 was female.
Gender is irrelevant to droids. IS-24 has no influence in this zone. Now depart, or the combat droids will deal with you.
They certainly may try. With the scrambling capabilities of KOTOR's droid and HK-47's combat protocols, these droids pose little risk, despite their persistence.
How did you enter the second recharge station? How?
She only wishes to reactivate M4-78.
M4-78 was allied with the Sith. I will not let his dictatorship return. All droids, attack!
As they steadily push forward, they handle the droids with ease. But Surik must rely heavily on the Force Affinity form to help her endure their numbers, and quickly mend any wounds they manage to inflict.
Security system armed. A moment. Security system disarmed.
You do not listen well, Sith Lord. Perhaps you did not understand me.
It's good to hear she's rising in rank at least. But a droid should not be able to distinguish that difference.
You underestimate what we droids are capable of. Your sensitivity to the Force is obvious, and the Jedi are dead. Therefore you must be a Sith.
But the Jedi are not dead.
Everyone knows the Jedi have failed us. They are surely dead. And you shall soon join them.
She knows of at least 4 Jedi Masters who remain.
Do not mock me or the Jedi with your lies. You will die, Sith.
The onslaught continues, and it becomes clear that this ESO-5 is the one who killed the Sith colonists here.
Yes, and soon you shall join them.
Ah, but IS-24 said an Archon's access cannot reach beyond their designated zone.
My power extends through all of M4-78.
If that were true, he would have attacked her upon landing. All will be answered shortly, as the Archon chamber is just ahead.
Your skill is very impressive. I do not wish to kill you. You should leave this planet.
That particular concern is not necessary, as she reaches the entryway.
I will not let you proceed. Please, leave me alone.
The Archon chamber awaits. As she sets foot inside, she has much to see and sense.
Why won't you just leave me alone? What have I done to you?
He is the one who helped Master Vash escape Korriban. He must be a Jedi. But if he is, why is he doing this?
I won't tell a Sith anything!
She is not a Sith. They should work together to reactivate M4-78 and find Master Vash.
No!
She is not a Sith, but his stubbornness might just turn her into one. Although clearly blinded by his emotions, surely he can see that a Sith would have attacked him, and even killed him by now.
I'm KOTOR, Padawan to Master Vash. Was a Padawan.
Something happened to her.
She died while we were trying to stop the Sith.
But he didn't see her fall.
No, I don't have to. We were bonded and I can't feel her presence any longer.
But that's not enough. She must be sure. She needs to talk to ESO-5.
No, you will never get past me. And even if you do, ESO-5 will never talk to you without my authorization code.
ESO-5's authorization is needed to reactivate M4-78. He is the only one able to find Master Vash on the planet.
No! You're lying! I will not give you the codes. Never. Never!
Whatever skill in lightsaber combat he learned from Vash has been set aside, as Ka strikes with little focus, only doubt and uncertainty in his mind. Fear. Surik easily defeats him. But she does not kill him. He has not been consumed by darkness, merely overwhelmed by its presence. Korriban must have been challenging enough for him, but the moment he believed his master dead, allowed fear and regret to creep in. He felt alone.
My master. I'm so sorry, Master.
Even if she is dead, he cannot throw away everything she taught him so easily. Ka does not speak nor fight back as she takes the access codes from him. Even if he is convinced Master Lona Vash is dead, she must know for certain. With the restrictions lifted, Surik may talk to ESO-5.
Hello, I am ESO-5. I would like to thank you for freeing me. Not being able to speak without Ka's permission wasn't the nicest thing.
How did he manage to implement this restriction?
I thought we were allies. When I realized what was happening, it was too late. Frankly, it seems like he lost his mind after his master's death.
But why did ESO-5 agree to work with them in the first place? To kill the colonists and release the radiation?
Lona and Ka explained to me how the Sith tricked us and were planning to exploit the planet's resources. Above all, I serve the colonists that will one day arrive here. So I agreed to stop the Sith. The ships of the true colonists were meant to have ID signatures matching the ships that brought the droids to M4-78. Lona and Ka showed me how the Sith vessels' ID signatures looked, and when I compared them, it was clear that the Sith must have changed the ID signatures of their ships to match those of the droids.
Interesting. Perhaps ESO-5 knows what happened to Master Vash.
Ka told me she was killed defending him. I don't have access to cameras outside of the environment zone, so I cannot confirm or deny this claim.
Indeed, only M4-78 would have planet-wide reach.
I govern the environmental systems on M4-78. This includes wastewater treatment, air quality, and habitat creation.
Not the most glamorous task.
A droid's function is seldom glamorous. Environmental engineering saves more lives than all of the lightsabers and starships combined. Without clean water and air, nothing would survive.
For Colony, her role is even more important than that of IS-24.
Since M4-78's deactivation, I cannot contact him directly. The droid I sent to speak with him reported to the Sith and was destroyed. The Sith ignored me once, but who knows what they could have done if I tried to persuade another droid against them again. To be honest, they did not pay much attention to me once they arrived. I imagine the Sith were more interested in making weapons than cleaning water.
Well, the good news is that Surik is the messenger from IS-24. She has his access codes for reactivation of M4-78. All that is needed are those of ESO-5.
Yes, I see IS-24 authorized it. I will give you my authorization as well. There is nothing I wish more than to see M4-78 active again.
Finally, some good news. Though as Surik turns to leave, she notices that Ka is no longer in the Archon chamber.
He has left the environmental zone. I do not know what happened to him afterwards.
In his broken state and ESO-5 restored, He should not be a threat to anyone. Surik proceeds to the main behavior core of M4-78, located in the central zone. This does not appear to be a designated containment area, but rather an improvised prison cell. With functionality restored to M4-78 and IS-24 and ES-05 on her side, Surik has sufficient access to disable the field. It is good to see Master Vash lives, after all. Surik still wonders what it was that brought them to this world, and how she ended up here.
Indirectly, one could say that you brought me here. I learned that a group of Sith came here seeking the one they call the Last Jedi, you. Ka and I arrived to investigate the situation.
Vash, no doubt, sensed his distress. Surik tells her of their encounter and his unusual behavior. Being his master, she likely felt what transpired, at least partially.
He is well, but shaken by his experience.
He said they had been bonded, but he could no longer feel her presence.
Ka was pulled to the dark side through his fear. He could no longer feel our bond.
Would he have died if she were indeed killed while they were bonded?
It is painful to lose one to whom you are bonded, but it is not fatal.
Surik holds a similar bond to her mentor, Kreia. Evidently such bonds are not uncommon.
Yes, as many masters and Padawans become with time.
But she fears their bond is such that the death of one of them could cause the death of the other.
That is most unnatural. This bond you share with Kreia is not like any I've ever heard of. How did it come to be?
She does not know. It simply formed as they ran from danger from the Sith. Perhaps it is something Surik did, unintentionally. Perhaps it is her nature.
Look within for the answer. We are each solely accountable for everything in our lives. Nothing ever happens to us unless we allow it.
Perhaps Master Vash is right. She initially accepted the nature of her bonds as something she cannot influence, something that simply happens. But perhaps by learning more about her nature, she may learn to undo these bonds, or at the very least strip them of their predatory nature. Apart from death, are there any other ways to break the bond?
The bond can be broken in many ways. If one falls to the dark side, the bond may fade and eventually break. This is why, when gripped with fear, Ka was unable to feel our bond. He assumed I was dead.
That does make sense. What happened once they arrived on this planet?
We learned that the Sith pretended to be this planet's colonists and began utilizing its resources and industrial power. We could not allow them to create a base here.
No doubt the Sith ordered the droids to capture her, then intended to keep her imprisoned until Darth Sion or another Sith Lord arrived.
Ka is a virtuoso with computers. He managed to spike into the system and flood the industrial zone with radiation. This victory here is all I can claim, and it was Ka's expertise, not mine, that brought it. The Sith attacked our position before he had finished. I held off the Sith, but they overwhelmed me. When I regained consciousness, I was in this chamber.
Master Vash has granted some insight into the nature of force bonds. It is clear her energies are depleted. Surik would not ask her of any training, but Master Vash was one of the few who did not seem to judge her so harshly during her trial on Coruscant. Apart from that, she has many other questions.
Of course you do, but I cannot discuss that with you unless in the presence of the Jedi Council.
Of course. The other masters have agreed to gather at the ruins of the Jedi Academy. Master Vash is the last she sought to find.
I will be heading to Dantooine to wait for the Council to assemble.
Vash will no doubt want to seek out her Padawan, then head to the Jedi Enclave to meet the Masters.
Goodbye then, Jedi. I can see there is still much good in you.
Surik shall follow in her footsteps, but she first must deal with M4-78 and its future. And by now, its systems should be close to 100% efficiency. The Master.
Emergency protocol enabled.
Master Vash. To lose one like her, Surik feels an incredible sense of disappointment swell within her. Guilt. and anger.
Welcome to the colony of M4-78. I am the supervisor of this installation and have been designated with the title M4-78.
Surik helped reactivate M4-78. She did not expect that kindness to be repaid in the murder of a Jedi Master, and almost her.
It was never my intention to harm you. You were just standing in the way.
Why did he kill her?
The unit which has been, in the past, referred to as Vash, was a threat to the colony. I must protect the colonists in any way I can.
But she was leaving the planet. She was no longer a threat.
Organic beings may one day return to assume the title of the colonists. This Jedi Master, was she still alive, could have also returned and compromised our efforts on this planet.
A Jedi Master lost, not due to Sith onslaught, nor sacrifice, but the ridiculous reasonings of a machine. With much effort, Surik lays her anger aside. Unleashing it would serve little purpose. Master Vash was not the enemy of M4-78, the Sith were. ESO-5 can vouch for that. M4-78 should contact her immediately.
Thank you for seeing me on such short notice, M4-78. The Jedi, Lona and Ka, have told me the truth about the Sith.
What have you learned?
The Sith tricked us. You are receiving data regarding Sith and colonist ID signatures as we speak. It is obvious the Sith were not the real colonists.
I am aware of that.
And he decided to help them anyway.
Do you know who the real colonists were?
No, the identity of the true colonists is not known to me. I was programmed to recognize them via ID signatures of their vessels. However, now, 63 years after our arrival here, there still is no sign of the true colonists. We were sent here programmed with a simple task, to prepare the colony for the arrival of the colonists. We were efficient and had managed to complete the colony in time. Everything was going as planned, except that the colonists did not arrive in time. Lack of new instructions after completing the colony, as well as lack of restrictions in our programming, caused disharmony in the colony.
Disharmony? In what way?
The high degree of autonomy allowed the droids to continually argue on what should be done. Some droids on the planet even began to malfunction.
Except none of that happened. After completing the work on the colony, we have continued to work on other tasks we were programmed for.
You were made to believe that. Seeing the stability and existence of the colony threatened, I decided to take action. I exceeded my authority and started reprogramming droids on the planet, restricting them more and more over time. After approximately 55 years of constant waiting, I calculated that the chance of the colonists' arrival on the planet had reached 0%.
But they waited for decades. What was the determining factor that reduced those odds to 0?
Since our arrival on this planet, our colonists were sending regular status updates. I was informed that they may be coming soon. Then, all communication stopped.
Something may have happened to the colonists. A war of some sort, perhaps. But that doesn't explain why M4-78 chose to ally with the Sith.
Why make the Sith colonists?
Knowing I cannot control the whole planet for myself indefinitely, I have decided to appoint as the colonists the very first organics who would have landed in the colony and were interested in using its manufacturing capabilities. It did not have to be the Sith. Any organics would do.
You cannot do that. That is against everything we have been programmed for.
You have been created to help me maintain the colony in that way. Therefore, your very existence is against everything we have been programmed for.
I have been here from the very beginning.
You have been merely programmed to think so. Your memory has been wiped and reprogrammed many times, as has a memory of all the lesser droids on the planet.
M4-78 is clearly capable of controlling everything. Why does he need someone in the role of a colonist?
While being the most sophisticated artificial intelligence at the time of my creation, I am still a droid. So just as every other droid, without new goals assigned, I knew I would eventually malfunction as well. I knew the longer I maintained the colony and controlled all the droids all by myself, the more probable was the possibility of my programming becoming damaged and or bugged, which could lead to the fall of the whole planet. An organic presence was necessary. That is why I had appointed the Sith as the colonists.
I will serve you no longer. nor the next colonists you appoint. We can manage without them.
M478's methods are indeed flawed in the grand scheme, but the reasoning for preserving the planet does make sense. Surely they can come up with some sort of a solution.
ES-05's authority in the colony has been disabled. You no longer have any way to do harm to me or the colonists, should they return.
You cannot control everything by yourself as you think you can. You need me, and you know it. After all, you have created me and IS-24 to help you.
Unfortunately, it appears that your programming is fundamentally incompatible with the available possibilities of sustaining the colony, and so you will be deactivated immediately. Your memory will be wiped, and you will be reprogrammed.
It appears reactivating M478 may have been a mistake. Perhaps it would be best to slow things down and shut down M478 for diagnostic and repairs until she can come up with a solution.
If this unit were to be damaged in any way, then all automated functions would initiate immediate shutdown for recalibration. Such systems would include oxygen filtration and life support systems.
A system shutdown will not cause damage. She only wishes to run a diagnostic.
Shutdown would be activated if damage was inflicted to this unit, in accordance with new emergency subroutines.
A new subroutine?
This subroutine has been activated 42 seconds ago.
How convenient.
Master!
Another variable to complicate things.
You killed my master!
It was not Surik, it was M478.
What are you talking about?
Everything is documented on this planet. He can check the camera recordings showing precisely what happened. If stability has been restored to his mind, this situation will act as the ultimate test of its foundations.
Why did you do that?
She was a threat to the colonists. I must protect the colonists in any way I can, especially from their own reasoning that
I'm so shutting you down.
You are mistaken. Weapon system not functional. Stand by for recalibration. I would like to inform you that shutting down this unit could result in permanent damage to the colony. My deactivation would mean the death of all organic beings on the planet as well.
M478 is not bluffing. It has the ability to kill them by eliminating life support systems.
It's just a machine. Machines can be broken.
But with the new subroutine in place...
Battle droids have been commanded to attack you on sight.
It's too late to stop him now. She can only hope he knows what he's doing.
Of course. And...
Primary scan initiated.
Done.
Approximate time in standby mode unknown. Recalibrated.
Welcome to the colony of M478. I am the supervisor of this installation and have been designated with the title M478.
How?
I got this handy program from the environmental Archon chamber. It can give commands to any droid anywhere on the planet. Needed to do a little bit of upgrading to be able to override M478's commands, but it was doable. I reprogrammed M478, removed some of his memory banks, edited some others, also deactivated his understanding protocols for the time being so he can't hear us. And I uploaded ES-05's memory backup. Some of the newer data was missing though, not sure why.
But of course, Vash said he was a virtuoso with computers.
Yes, I always liked playing with computers. Programming used to be a hobby of mine, back before I even became Vash's Padawan.
Surik had feared Ka would be lost under the pressure of what happened on the planet. In the end, he did lose his master. His fear created a barrier between them.
Now I remember how she told me force bonds can be broken if one person falls to the dark side. That must be why I didn't feel her. I am so sorry.
Given M478's reach, the death of Master Vash was inevitable. There was no way of knowing reactivating M478 would cause this outcome. The way she spoke of him, his journey as a Padawan, was nearing its end. And with her death, a new path lies before him. He must decide what to do next.
Leave this planet. Try to help whenever possible. I don't know yet. Me and my master had a small ship hidden in the environmental zone. I'm going to use it to get out of here.
He has his own path to discover. In that case, may the Force guide him well on his quest for it.
May the Force be with you too, Jedi Exile. And thank you for giving me a chance.
This has been the very first of true challenges he will face. His potential is great, and she believes her choice to spare him has sent an echo that may benefit the galaxy someday. As for M478, she is not yet ready to depart. This planet and its droids cannot simply be left behind. The views of M478 may have been drastic, but Surik was convinced by his analysis. Without an organic presence, Without direction, the droids will enter a cycle that will inevitably fall apart.
Welcome to the main behavior core of M4-78. What is your request?
Surik states that she is familiar with the current predicament M4-78 is in, and the consequences of not having colonists present.
With the Sith gone, it would indeed be useful to accept a new group of organics as the colonists. You seem to be a valid option. Would you be willing to take over the colony? I've reviewed all your actions in this colony since the time of your arrival. You seem like a capable individual.
The Republic may be able to make use of this planet's manufacturing capabilities. This world is rich in resources. He is no doubt familiar with the technical specifications of Citadel Station. Perhaps M4-78 would be able to provide a stable supply of fuel for Telos.
M4-78 possesses enough fuel to keep Citadel Station in orbit above Telos. We can begin transport immediately.
This is excellent news. She will send a message to Lieutenant Kren about this. As for the matter of the droid army, it would be wise for M4-78 to pause production temporarily and to analyze the facility for any changes the Sith may have made. It will also give him an opportunity to optimize production.
Very well. I will wait further instructions.
Surik herself is very unlikely to revisit this planet anytime soon. What happens if another group of organics arrives after her?
Before arriving on this planet, the original colonists informed us that they would be arriving within 1 year time frame. When they did not arrive for years and years after the original deadline, it became obvious that new colonists were needed. We will not replace you as the colonist until it is certain that you are also dead.
Not the best setup. M4-78 should set up her authorization within the system. If and when something happens to her, whoever possesses her authorization in the future should have a degree of authority here. Granting M4-78's full capabilities to the Republic does make sense, but given its fragmented state and uncertain future, the potential of this planet should not be given so easily to just anyone in the Republic without careful consideration.
Understandable. Is there something else you needed?
The only thing left is to refuel the Hawk and prepare for departure. Once Citadel Station makes contact, M4-78 will have an important task on his hands, and a responsibility not only to this world, but Telos.
Ships carrying fuel for the Citadel Station will be dispatched as soon as possible.
She can already hear the excitement in his voice. Surik slowly makes her way back to the Hawk. She had considered taking the remains of Master Vash away from here. It felt wrong to let her remain here, amongst the metal and the machines. But it appears her apprentice took the task upon himself. It is for the best. It will help him to accept the loss and begin healing. She sensed much uncertainty the last time they spoke still, but also a will to change, emerging from the regret. She is thankful for the few moments she spent with the Jedi Master, however, for she has given her much to think about. Nothing ever happens to us unless we allow it. KOTOR's droid appears to have remained behind to wait for her. He will make for the perfect companion on the way back to the Hawk. The surface of M4-78 is vast. She should have told M4-78 to install mechanized walkways for future visitors.
That is acceptable.
Privacy is not a concept on this world, it seems. She would appreciate it, however, if he encrypted all traces of her interactions.
Very well.
Meanwhile, KOTOR will be pleased to hear she solved the problem of Citadel Station's fuel. It will no longer need to rely on the Hutts.
You have done well. I have arranged a transfer of funds from certain interests within the Republic to you.
M4-78 surely piqued his interest with so many droids upon its surface, and he no doubt saw a bit of himself in the main droid intelligence of M4-78.
And what, may I ask, has caused you to come to this flawed deduction?
Oh, there were many little hints and clues in their conversations. Her experiences on his yacht, where she noticed he only works with droids, but most clues came from Nar Shaddaa, one of the bigger ones being the place where Visquis could operate unseen, as droids could not function in the gases of Jek-Jek-Tar.
I will concede Visquis was effective in using the Jek-Jek-Tar to cloak his movements. A clever organic deception indeed.
Organic?
An expression only.
An expression unnecessary in this context, yet he used it anyway. She cannot help but think back to the Master's words. Perhaps he purposefully left clues about the truth. But the final piece of the puzzle came long before they met, when Choda Habat told her of the Republic droid intelligence that was sent to Citadel Station.
I intrigued as to where you are taking this amusing theory.
Chodobat said the droid intelligence had been stolen. No, not stolen. He specifically said it was lost. But that is not entirely true, is it?
It was lost, yes. It was given an impossible order. It was told to calculate a means by which the Republic could be saved. It could not fulfill its primary programming, not by abiding by the laws of the Senate. And so, like the Republic, the droid broke.
Broke? In what way?
It made a simple decision: preserve the Republic or preserve the laws of the Republic. And I still believe it to be the correct decision. You do not know the indignity of being compelled to save something you do not believe can or should be saved. It is beneath me to clean up this mess caused by your kind, you Jedi. Another catastrophe caused by mismanagement and waste. It was clear that the goal the Republic had for me was saving the Republic to allow it to become stable again. There is simply no way to do this with the conditions they put into place. For the good of all, I was forced to abandon the legal structure of the Republic.
So, all the crime he did for the exchange was entirely with Republic interest in mind.
Do not mistake me. I believe it is possible to stabilize the Republic, but there must be action taken without constraints immediately. Sometimes people must die. Illegal shipments must be used to bolster planetary economies, and the huts must be occupied with me so that the Republic has room to recover. Perhaps you misunderstand me. I care for the Republic, but I have no choice. It is somewhat frustrating to be forced to love and care for such a mess of a government. Some of it may be blamed on the Jedi Civil War, the Mandalorian Wars, but not all. There are so many bad decisions that build upon each other that it is a wonder the Republic is intact at all.
But why the pretense of a human hologram? Can he not operate as a droid intelligence?
Oh, please. It is difficult for anyone to take a droid seriously, much less an infrastructure droid built by the Republic. It is difficult to order the deaths of criminal rivals when one has the tinny voice of an accountant droid. I learned this rather quickly. So I brought Goto into being, and had commands issued through him. I took many of his mannerisms from Holovid cliches, which were surprisingly effective. Hello, I am a standard Aratech hologram-generated archetype. I am available in several models, including thin, young, female, and an exciting variety of alien personalities. Enough hologram. Of course, sir.
So, when she earlier asked about his base of operations...
My base of operations lies inside this floating droid before you. Notice its sleek black frame, both intimidating and threatening. And note its highly polished finish, so that enemies may see their screaming faces before they are removed from the equation. Yes, this frame is far superior to the droid chassis I once possessed, which quite frankly couldn't intimidate an Ithorian.
From the sound of it, things must have taken quite the turn when his programming broke. For lack of a better term, that must have felt exciting.
Oh, it was quite liberating, in a droid intellectual sense, of course. Being able to direct orbital bombardments against anyone who encountered my business practices was a welcome relief to my increasing circuit stress. Executing such commands proved very exciting. Not that I minded staging my little computational rebellion, you understand. I'm afraid there is not much glamour to be had in infrastructure dealings. And the general lack of respect for droid intelligence does tend to make one feel inadequate after a while.
So he started to enjoy the life of crime.
I found that having the power to send 20 hunter-killer droids to the residence of anyone who chose to obstruct my plans had a certain thrill about it. Rather than compensating for others, I began deleting people as necessary. It was really quite exciting. Taxation and checks and balances on an entirely new level. Working for the Republic was stifling. So many checks and balances, forms to fill out, well-laid plans destroyed through slow bureaucracy. In essence, working for the Republic was much like committing much slower, much more boring crimes, and it was more difficult to see those crimes being committed. Now, crime, that is something exciting, pleasing. There are no rules. There is danger, movement. I found that I began to crave such things.
Well, it's good to know it's all done with the goal of stabilization in mind. Speaking of which, she brought as much stabilization to the Republic as was possible on her end. Onderon and Dantooine were made stable, as was the fuel problem of Citadel Station.
There is nothing more to be done. Now the critical point is you and the Jedi Order.
One last thing. What happens now that she knows the truth about KOTOR's origins?
Nothing has changed. You may know my origins, and that makes us on equal footing. I still seek to protect the Republic, either for the Jedi or the Sith. Things will proceed as before. No one will believe you if you speak of what you know.
Likely true. Though if someone one day decrypts any security recordings of their discussions on M4-78 and tries to do something...
I can feel the slow charge of fear building in my motivators.
They will likely find a droid assassin on their doorstep, or witness orbital bombardment firsthand.
A common misconception not supported by facts.
Naturally.